imagery and images? Do you have a stock photography place you go when you're looking for a sterile white guy posing with his coat over his shoulder looking off into the distance so you can make people seeing your website or PowerPoint slide think that they're all inspired? Yes, you do. We all do. And that's part of the problem. And part of the solution is Christina Hawatmeh, who is here. She is the founder of and CEO of Scopio, the largest library of authentic photos for stock photography powered by AI. She's here today to help us with some new information and remind us of some old information we need to revisit from time to time about photography. Christina, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Jason. Thanks for having me. And don't forget the photo of the girl eating salad. That's a little more
Yeah,
epic than the other one.
that's true. The reason that I used that reference was I was putting together a slide the other day and I was looking for an inspirational photo. And unfortunately, the white guy with his coat over his shoulders on my computer, so I deleted it immediately.
Great. Well, we'll replace it for you. Don't worry.
So stock photography resources are pretty plentiful out there. There's lots of different sites, but I think we've all had some fun at their expense in the business world because the poses are often very sterile, contrived. So there's certainly room for improvement. There's got to be a deeper story behind why you would dive into this mess and build a company around it. So, what is Scopio's story?
Sure. So the reason why all those images are posed is that stock photography was made in an era of print magazines where there were only a few businesses that needed a few images. So they were highly produced, and that was what that world demanded at that time. But now we have millions of businesses, tons of new ones starting every day, small businesses, individuals, inspiration projects that need great, amazing images to power their storytelling. Everybody knows the great photo is what catches your attention, or the great photo is what inspires your campaign or your idea for something. But access to that has been really hard, and licensing is another issue. So once you combine both of those, it's kind of funny when you look at it because every year we take more photos than in all of history combined, and they just sit on our phones and they sit on our cameras, and you see like 14-year-old girls out in the street with their amazing Canons and they're taking their images and they're just sitting there. But the world is like craved to move that content into the rest of the world, online, on TV, on billboards, wherever you turn. Walk into a restaurant, you see a photo on the wall. Every images are all around us. So Scopio's goal is to be the middle person between this great world of 4 billion photos that we post every day on social media and all the new businesses and existing businesses that are really looking for something that's really fresh, diverse, authentic, global, and almost local in a way. So something that represents where they are.
So I know you started out in with an interest in politics. I know you went to Columbia. You interned in Congress. I don't know if that's something to brag about these days, but what led you professionally to do this? My guess is you're not necessarily a coder, but of course I'm guessing. I'm making assumptions here. How'd you get to be an entrepreneur and the CEO of an up and coming company like this?
Yeah, it was kind of by accident, but my passion has been there for years about the intersection between technology and politics. So that's why I went to Columbia to study that, how governments interact with people online. And then when I was there, I had this kind of aha moment in the like lobby of the School of International Public Affairs, and I saw TV, and there was these photos from Twitter, and they were trying to explain where they were from. And I was like, why is everyone so confused? Like, why can't I just organize these photos, let everybody know where they're from, and they can just browse through them casually without panicking that the image was going to go away? So I started to learn how to code and find partners and figure out how to build a system that could kind of clean out the mess of these images and make them sensible for people. And then when I figured out how to do that in some part, I realized, you know what, distribution is also just as exciting, if not more. And then how do we get these in the hands of people that want to use them? So that's where Scopio is a place where you can license your images, and then we distribute them for you and make sure that everything is signed off and okay to use.
So artificial intelligence is something that your company sort of claims to use that to power what you do. So take me through how AI helps your library of photographs grow, stay organized, produce relevant results for what people are looking for.
Yeah, so on the photographer's perspective, like you might find selling your photos really intimidating because um, it was made for professional photographers. Most sites you go, you have to add your own tags, your own information. You have to understand what a model release is, what licensing is, and these are all things that are not native to, especially like a younger generation. So we wanted to make a frictionless way in which you could sell your images without having to know all of those things. So when you go to Scopio, you submit your image, and then we take you through automated model release links. We tag and title your image for you. We curate that content. We make sure there's nothing in the image that isn't allowed to be sold, and then we put that up for you. So you just spend less than 3 minutes submitting, and then we take care of that. And then also on the sourcing side, from that inspiration idea that I had mentioned, we learned how to filter through content. So if you're submitting like a bunch of photos of I don't know, the coffee table, we're not going to take that, or and that's how we filter through when we're finding photographers, and then also when they're in our system. So if you think about it, photography is having its heyday. So it's funny, even in the tags, when you look at it, the systems, the AI systems that were built are completely biased. So it'll look at, like, sometimes if a man has long braids, it'll call it a woman.
Mm.
So it's completely gendered. There's so many issues, not just in the processing of content that we've developed, and Scopio really wants to take us forward with that.
So tell me a bit. I know you've got kind of two audiences, or two primary audiences for this tool. You have the users, obviously, people like us in the marketing world who need stock photography from time to time or need to source images somewhere. And then you have the marketplace of photographers who want to create images for you
Yeah.
and sell those and manage their licensing rights there. So break those two down and kind of the business model down. How much do people have to pay for the platform? What role do photographers play, and how can they leverage
We
the platform
screamed
too?
it and then we forgot.
Yeah, so the goal on the photographer side is to be the go-to place wherever you are around the world to sell your images.
I said, we
we
said
should have
Sue
images
screamed,
to
so we
choose
have
from
the.
that look like them, act like them, feel like
It
them.
was on
So
her channel.
now we have 13,000 photographers from over 150 countries, and we do have that breadth of diversity. If you go
Did
to
you
the
find it on
website,
Google?
you'll see more than 200,000 photos that have been submitted from them. They get paid a percentage of every sale, whether it's a subscription or an individual image purchase. And then on the buyer side, we have thousands of businesses that use Scopio either on the subscription or on individual images. And the subscription, we created a special one for small businesses and individuals. That's $30 a month, unlimited, right now, to access to part of the library, and that has really powered things from full-on Spotify albums to front to back cover Amazon books. People have launched Etsy stores. They've created apps and games. They've really taken their inspiration to new places, and we knew that there was a flood of people that were dying to get their inspiration through this. And even inspiration boards, just downloading, you can save images, create boards and ideas, and that's probably the funnest part, as you know, as a marketer. So those are the two worlds that are colliding here, and it's, in a sense, we're just lowering the barriers. So now these creatives with talent can meet these great businesses. We've even had photographers make it to the cover of books at Barnes and Nobles. And they'll be this, a photographer from a town in a country that would never otherwise have the opportunity. So we're leveling that playing field and giving anyone an opportunity to get there.
So